Greetings, fellow scribes! Welcome back to the archive! This week, I continue my series on Warhammer 40K Roleplay, Wrath&Glory, by talking about the Gilead System, the system that is the setting for the default version of the game. Understand, of course, that while this is the default system, this is not the only system, and you can do stories anywhere in the Imperium of Man, or even outside on the various craft worlds, since, of course, Eldar and Orcs are actually part of the races you can play. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy as I talk about the system of Gilead. So, the setting for Wrath&Glory is shortly after the opening of the Cicatrix Maledictum. This is a period when great warp storms are ravaging huge swaths of the Imperium. The light of the Astronomicon cannot be seen, and so it is difficult for ships to navigate. A rogue trader by the name of Jaquel Veronius has come into the system with desperately needed supplies, but has not left. It's possible he was basically randomly lucky in coming into the system, or it could be he's waiting for openings in the warp storm to be able to leave to get more supplies for the system. But in essence, anyone in the Gilead system during the course or initial phases of this game is stuck here. Eventually, as part of the Indominus Crusade and the warp storm subsiding, the light of the Astronomicon will be able to be seen. Gilman will set up essentially relays that will get through the Cicatrix Maledictum and into the Imperium Nihilus, where it can be used to navigate. But until that time, travel in the warp is risky because there is no single point to steer by without the Emperor's holy light of the Astronomicon. So that is where we are starting off in the explanation. Now, of course, this is a system with multiple worlds. Obviously, at some point during the Dark Age of technology, there was terraforming and technology put in place to keep all these worlds functioning. Because, well, frankly, much technology is lost, and most people don't know how to build terraforming equipment anymore. In fact, I think even the Mechanicum can't turn a planet into a habitable place. They can just, at most, build habidomes, or small habitats on a planet. The capital of the system is, of course, Gilead Primus. This is a hive world. Now, what does a hive world mean? It means that this is a world with great, towering, city-sized arcologies. Essentially, well, to reference another franchise, megacities like in Judge Dredd, only bigger and taller. The highest points of these spires actually reach outside the atmosphere, and spaceships can dock on them. And materials can be brought down from where the spaceships dock. And this is, of course, in addition to planet-side spaceports. Something that makes Gilead Primus important as well is that this world has its own 5 moons. These moons are where the manufactorum, the mines, the barracks for the Astra Militarum, and palaces for the ruling elite are mostly built. There are some elements of these on the planet, but the moons are the significant beating heart of the economy. Without them, the economy of Gilead Primus doesn't really function. Now, the Inquisition has kind of decided that the people in power, or at least the people in high society, are vulnerable to corruption, at least at this time, and the Inquisition is keeping a close eye on anyone in high society. Now, from Gilead Primus, we start talking about the other 4 worlds in the system. Evacrus is the Forge world. This is the home of the Adeptus Mechanicus in the system, and with no supplies coming in, they're kind of in a tough spot. But Mechanicus are nothing if not good at recycling. Just ask any servitor. Oh wait, you can't, because they're programmed to only do one specific task. Or just to ask a servo skull. Oh wait, no, those are also programmed to do just one specific thing. Yeah. The Mechanicus can scrounge up parts if they need to. They just might not like to. There's also many abandoned and idle sites on Evacrus, so it's a great place for archaeotech, which is archaeological technology, i.e. technology pulled from old places. Because remember, in the world of 40K, technology stopped advancing 10,000 years ago with the death of the Emperor. Everything has stagnated, and worse, things have been lost. For an example, there is only one extant Space Marine jet bike still in existence, and that's held by the Master of the Raven Wing of the Dark Angels chapter. There's things that just can't be made anymore, and so the Mechanicus work on just trying to maintain it. This is true of some of the largest of the Titans, as well as an assortment of some tanks, and a number of other things. That it's pretty much, this is ancient, lost technology now. Even though at one time, it was perfectly available. The next world is Netherius. This is the Night World. And when we're referring to knights here, we are not referring to people in armor riding horses. We are referring to what are called Imperial Knights. These are small-scale titans. Basically, these are gigantic walking robots. The pilot of these robots, the Principe, jacks into them. Their nervous system linking with the nervous system of the Imperial Knight. Now, Imperial Knights are small-scale titans, so their Principes can actually leave them and have a sort of normalish life. The largest scale titans, the things like the Imperator titans, their Principes are permanently attached to. But in this case, Netherius is home to a House Acasta, of Imperial Knights. It is not home to a Legio of the Adeptus Titanicus. It is home to just a house, probably of like 30-something at most, Imperial Knights. Of course, you have to feed the population, right? And that is the purpose of the agriworld Ostia. It's generally described as a vast and beautiful planet. And, well, frankly, it's an agriworld. It makes all the food that gets shipped to all the billions of people on Gilead Primus and the people on the other planets. The final planet is Enoch, which is a shrine world. Shrine worlds are a kind of weird thing in 40K. They are something where either a great miracle happened, or a saint died, or a saint was born, or a saint did something really, really notable, and a shrine is built, which then will become a church, and eventually a grand cathedral. And Enoch is a world run by the Ecclesiarchy, the Church of the Imperium. The people who push that the Emperor, who vehemently denied that he was a god, and who raised a great city to humble one legion of his Space Marines, because they were declaring and demanding that he be worshipped as a god, and he felt that they needed to be humbled. The Ecclesiarchy went, nope, the Emperor is God. He is the only god of the Imperium. After he was entombed on the Golden Throne. Yeah, let's not kind of dwell on the fact that someone kind of missed the book. No, most Space Marine chapters still follow the Imperial truth, the idea of science and logic being the dominant things, not religion. But there are exceptions, but we'll talk about that at some later point. But yes, Enoch is a shrine world. It is run by the Ecclesiarchy. And the Emperor's light cannot be seen. So they are taking this as a very bad omen, And there's lots of wailing and gnashing of teeth going on, because they don't know what happened. Is Gilead being punished? Is the Emperor dead? They don't know. And it kind of scares them. But, of course, in any star system, you're going to have a portion of it that is kind of the Wild West. An area where pirates, foul Xenos, and worse things can be found. In this system, in the system of Gilead, this section is called the Reach. And it is being patrolled by the Vow of Absolution, the main battle barge of the Absolvers chapter of Space Marines. And apparently, somehow, with the stuff that was brought by the rogue trader Jacob Veronius, they also got some of their Primaris reinforcements sent from Guilliman, since you can play Primaris in this game, and, well, you have to be in the system somehow, type thing. So, this is the overall summary of the system of Gilead. This is where you are playing. This is the pit of intrigue and heresy to root out that you get to enjoy. Maybe your Corsairs or Eldar from the Reach. Maybe your Space Marines who are going around dealing with threats in the way that only the Emperor's Angels of Death can. Maybe you're an Inquisitor. Maybe you're a rogue trader. Anything can go in a system as diverse as this. And you really don't know what's going to happen, because, frankly, we don't have much detail for the Gilead system. Like, no, literally, the actual detail for this system is 3 pages. And I somehow managed to stretch that out into a 18 or so minute video by dipping into lore from other areas of 40K. So, with that, next video in this series, I will be looking at the system, the core mechanics and combat systems for Warhammer 40K Roleplay, Wrath&Glory. And man, that's a big name to say. But until the next video, I'd like you all to remember to have fun and keep gaming.